Hey
Got it.
guys. Yep. Hey guys, this is Let's Go for Harry, and today I'm joined by somebody I know very well. Ivete Rocha, how are you?
Hey, Harry. I'm very
Okay,
well.
so a bit of backstory. We were together a bit last month. We know each other, and this backstory is important. So we know each other truthfully through Alkalalise, right?
Yeah, that's correct. He
Mm-hmm.
put us in touch
He
because
did.
I needed to continue my right treatment when I
Mm-hmm.
came back to UK. And first session was in January, last January.
That's right. It was, do you know the date of it? It was January the 31st, Lee's birthday. Did you know that? That's when we first
No.
met.
Okay.
We first met, funny enough, on Lee's birthday. Yeah, that's when I met you, January 31st, which is mad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we did. And but yeah, so this one I want to focus us on because you've had experiences with the alkalis that are different to my experiences, but yet similar. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm motivated to do this, and because I'm being accused of lying about money, about violence towards me and Niels. And you have an angle because you also, like me, are very privileged to speak your truth on this matter. So if you can give us a bit of backstory on how you and Lee Alkalis how you came into Lee Alkalis's life.
Yeah. My pleasure. Um, you know, people need to know. It's funny because if I could take everyone to the past, if I could put everyone inside my head, so they could see through my eyes what happened, um, that would give them better insight of what to expect from this person. However, this was what, 2 years ago? I lost track of time. Yeah, 2 years ago. Hopefully for everyone, he has, you know, given some time to think and to change a little bit. Hopefully, I don't know how things are at the moment. They don't
Hmm.
look great
No, they
because
don't.
last the last few weeks the events have been surprising.
Hmm.
So I anyway. Yeah, people need to. I'm just sharing my experience, and I'm fully aware of if I don't say the truth, then karma will bite me in my butt. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
because that.
fully aware of the consequences.
Yeah.
We were accused of being liars. That's not the case.
Yes, Lee Alkalis accused you, me, and Fabian of lying about what money, violence, of towards others, everything.
Great, great.
And
That's
what happened
great.
to you is all being denied.
Yeah. So like I said before, I would be happy if I didn't have to talk about my experience at all because it's a good one, but it's not a good one. The overall how do you say uh, feeling? It's not a positive one. So um, and by saying that, I also need to say this, that I'm very grateful for the opportunity that he gave me, for what I've learned with him. He helped me when not many people would agree to do what he did for me.
Mhm.
So this is the truth. He
Yeah,
helped me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the way he helped me,
yeah,
that wasn't very positive at all.
yeah.
At all.
So,
So
so backtrack.
we know
How did
that,
you find?
yeah,
How did you come to meet him? And yeah,
yeah,
you spent some time over there in Portugal then.
yeah. So with no further ado, so this was what, May? No, I don't know. let's say May 2021. So this was COVID time, and I had my 2 jabs. Yes, I'm vaccinated. I had 2
I'm ending the
jabs.
recording. Sorry, let me end the recording here. Bye. Carry on. Carry on.
Bye, that's it. I'm a goner.
You got-
Just by saying that I'm vaccinated, I had 2 jabs. That's it. That's it. It's over. But let me tell you this: if there is something that I truly regret, is to being jabbed. That being said, back then in 2021, it had been 18 months since I was allowed to travel to Portugal, and I was desperate to go visit my parents. Desperate. Because as you know, I'm here alone in the UK, and lockdown, it was tough. It was really tough. So when they said, if you don't have your jabs, you don't fly. And I was like, we were a team of 21 healthcare professionals. I was the 3rd last to have the jab because I didn't want to have it. I resisted until the last minute. And the thing that I regret is not to completely reject it.
Yeah.
So yes, I had 2 2 jabs, and my body reacted to it. So under my armpits and on my groins, the glands, the nodes, the lymph nodes, they did their job. They expelled all the bad stuff, the heavy metals, God knows what else, and I had a rush. All this area was little pimples, and it was so itchy. And because I was scratching, it was so sore. All the area was tender and red and a little bit inflamed. So both my armpits and both my groins. So I knew straight away that I had messed up big time my body. Anyway, and that caused friction at my work. So I ended up quitting my job, but I continued doing the same job, but in a different area. So, and one day I was member of this Facebook group, spiritual dating, and I was scrolling, blah, 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 and bam, I found a picture, and it was him holding or looking at a praying mantis. It was a beautiful picture, and I was like, "Oh,
I took that.
Cool."
I took the picture of him.
Yeah. Great picture, really great picture. You captured the moment really, really, really well. I was like, "Oh, that seems interesting." So I don't know how things happen from there. I don't remember.
Did you message
I don't
him?
know.
You messaged him, didn't you? Yes.
I don't know. I think I did.
Yeah.
I think I did because he mentioned a project in Portugal, and I said, "Oh, I'm from Portugal. Whereabouts are you from? Are you at?" And then we start talking, blah blah blah. And when I told him that I just had the jab, he was like, "Oh, you did a big mistake."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I know that already because my body reacted to it." And he said, "Oh, don't worry, I can help you. You can start on urine therapy." And I was like, "What?" What?
Yeah.
So I'm in urine therapy because of him, and that completely changed my life. That's awesome. And he said, yeah, so this project, we help people detox and off-grid lifestyle, that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, that is amazing. So I wanted to take 1 year sabbatical from work. And I thought, oh, this is amazing. This is it. I was willing to spend a year or so with him on that project, doing great things and doing my detox,
Yeah.
getting rid of most of the nasty things.
Primarily with a Rife machine as the foundation. There was a lot of things he must have said to you. Urine, he'd look after you for diet if you gave him an amount of money, but the Rife treatment was the foundation of what he was suggesting.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we agreed on how things would work. I would stay. They had this house up in the mountains, but I would stay in a house in the small village nearby. And initially, what I paid was for a whole year. But I ended up being there just for 3 months. A little bit more, 3 months, but not 4, 3 months. So
yes, Lee told me you paid 3,000 for a year.
Exactly, 3,000 euros.
And to me, to be honest, Ivete, it sounds good. It sounded like this is going to be really long, the way me and you going back and forth, by the way. But it's cool. Like the 3,000 he said it sounds like a good deal to me, because he was saying that you would look after you, give you accommodation, and he'd cook for you, and he's an amazing vegan cook. So
yes, he is.
A year there for
Delicious
3,000 doesn't sound too bad if you were there for a year, and having all this and him looking after you sounds fairly decent.
Exactly. But it was just so I joined them being Niels, Lee, and another male. It was mid-August, or right in the beginning of August, and I left like mid-November. So September, October, November. Yeah, roughly a little bit more than 3 months. And that was it. 3,000 euros.
Yeah.
Euros.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, euros.
That's expensive for 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want me to follow the time order?
Yes, please, because it's making sense for you to explain more fully the actual what's gone on. The deep stuff.
Yeah. So 2 or 3 weeks in, I was like, I made a mistake.
Right.
And it was already too late, and I wanted to do my detox.
Can I ask what made you feel like it was a mistake 2 or 3 weeks in? What was the feelings, the emotions? I don't know, by the way.
So, well, I was getting to know everyone, him, Niels, the other male, and first week was like a dream. It was so cool. Very welcoming, cool. And I started immediately my detox program. Then I started with terrible brain fog. Honestly, I couldn't recognize myself. Because wow, I was feeling so slow, and it would take a long time to for my brain to register. Yep. And me being a bilingual, when my brain gets tired, automatically falls into Portuguese. So sometimes for me to express myself, it was really cringy. It was difficult to me, and yeah, and it was difficult for them too, because they kind of, come on, say what you want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had really good time, and there was one day I was having a lot of good fun with the third male, because we were talking in different languages. We were having fun, laughing. We were in the kitchen doing the dishes and stuff, blah blah, and Lee at the beginning was having fun with us, but then he kind of went to the other room, and that was it. Next day, he kind of threw a tantrum
Really?
on me, like, oh, you guys were having fun talking in other languages, and of course not including myself, because I felt excluded because I don't speak French, blah blah blah. And I was like, huh? He was overreacting.
Yeah.
In my perspective, he was overreacting, and I was like, okay. From then on, things got worse and worse and worse and worse. Of course, there were good moments. I remember having good laughs, good time, up in the mountains. So many fruit trees, and learn about permaculture, and it was fascinating, amazing, amazing, amazing. But then, oh my gosh, then after the third male, he went to his life. Then things, I really start to see the real person.
Interesting.
Yeah. The toxic relationship between him and Niels.
Yeah.
It was like, sometimes I ask myself, if Niels makes so many mistakes, and if he's not happy with Niels, why he can't just say, Niels, just go away. I don't want you here.
And just to be clear, him and Niels were having this toxic relationship when you were there in the summer of 2021. That's nearly 2 years from now.
Yeah.
And this toxic relationship has continued. And this is why this video is being made. Because to fast forward a little bit, and I want you to carry on with your story. Niels had no fire or heart. You wanted to run away and eventually ran away. I saw Lee's toxic behavior eventually and ran away, but I always wondered why Niels never ran away. And the only time Niels did run away, the only time Niels did run away finally is when he burnt the house down. He tried to burn the house down, and that's the only time when he did. And now, after that, we find out that Lee's been videoing him and charming him, like we're going to talk about, because we both know, me and you, that he's very good with words. Lee, he's convinced Niels to go back to him. This toxic relationship, which you saw in the summer of 2021, which is carrying on, it's going to carry on.
Niels was the servant. He was the admin. He would do the admin of the money, rent, internet, everything about expenses. It was Niels' job. Everything related with preparing the how do you say, soil?
Yeah.
For permaculture, the compost, it was his responsibility. To clean the veggies, it was his responsibility. To feed the cats, it was his responsibility. And there was always so much whining and bickering, and it was exhausting
Because
and
Niels couldn't do it.
boring.
Because Niels couldn't do it properly, right? He was a bit
Exactly.
incompetent, a bit retarded almost.
Sometimes it looked like nobody was home, you know, but sometimes he was detoxing heavily, like I was, and he was going through brain fog. So, did I say frog? Might have.
No, you said it right though. Brain fog. You said it right.
Brain fog.
Brain fog. Yes.
So how could he function well?
Yeah.
He had wonky wires. He had parasites in his brain. Come on, he was wow.
Yeah.
So of course he would do mistakes. But what I really want to share with people is that Lee doesn't know how to be a proper leader. And the words that, like you said, he's a wordsmith. He knows how to use the words. What words have power? You know, like he taught me, words are spells. So he knows exactly what spells to use because he reads you. He read me. He knew straight away how traumatized I was in my childhood, and he knew exactly how to pinpoint those traumas.
To use them against you.
He tried to gaslight me.
Yep.
He would never do that in front of Niels. But you know what? It wouldn't matter, because if Niels was there, Niels would always agree with Lee. Always.
Yep.
Didn't matter what was it. Yep. He would never back me up because I was the rebellious one. Because I was the demon.
Yeah.
His words.
Lee's words to you. You were a demon.
Yeah, because I had the jab.
Yep. So Lee came there. You came there quickly to Lee for healing, but whilst you were there, he was calling you a demon for getting jabbed, even though he wanted you there to treat you. That's weird. So it's rude.
So,
by the way, sorry, Yvette, can we? It's going to run out. Can we start another one? But it's good so far.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Yeah. So this is connected because we have a free Zoom here. So Yvette, you were saying that Lee and Niels, from your thing, was a very toxic relationship, what you witnessed, and Niels was always just blindly almost like a Churchill dog going, yeah, even when Lee was abusing you and gaslighting you verbally, we must say this, emotionally and verbally, you felt under attack and pressure. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I need to I need to share this situation that happened with him. So about the gaslighting, I am so grateful to you, Harry, because you showed me that film.
Oh, we watched it together. Yeah, gaslighting.
I didn't even know I was being gaslighted. I didn't know that was the term, because I knew perfectly well that I was being played up.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I was being tricked. So I have all these memories are a bit traumatic.
Yeah.
And I remember exactly. He was in the kitchen. I was in the stairs that give access to the kitchen, and I was on my way to the toilet, and all of a sudden he was like, "What did you say?" In my face.
Yeah.
He asked me again, "What did you say?" I'm like, I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word. Yes, you did. No. Yes, you did. I said, no, I don't. And I would get very emotional. And he was like, oh, you did said something. I'm not crazy. And I was like, what the heck? And I'm like, I don't remember saying anything. And me thinking, what is going on? Am I losing my mind? Did I really talk? And he would go on and on and on, made me second guessing myself.
Yeah.
And I would believe him because I was just I was just waking up,
Mm.
you know, on my way to the toilet to drink my first wee. And I was like, okay. And then he would see that I was really under emotional distress and he would let go.
Yeah.
It, this was the this was what I felt being under, you know, under constant threat.
Yeah.
Me and Niels, we were under constant, like,
Your emotions. He was playing with your, because you're
yeah,
reminding me. I also I'm thankful to you actually, because you're reminding me of things that I've either blocked because I haven't deemed important, but they are important because I also experienced the same thing with Lee the first time around in Portugal when I left after 6 months. It was like I wasn't sure on the big things whether I was correct. He'd put it back on me and say, you've done this wrong and this. And I was sure in my gut was telling me, no, I'm not wrong. But what I did was I tried to catch him out on not catch him out. I was sure on some certain small things, like, did I put this
me
over
too,
here? So what I would do
me
is,
too.
yeah. So what I do is I'll go, I know I put this over here. It's a small thing that I'm 100% right in. And then I'd remember he'd attack me and try and gaslight me and convince me that the small thing is wrong. And it wore me down just like it did you. And it made me think I can't be bothered to argue. So I'd even go along with it, even though
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
100% I was right over a small thing. And I'm remembering this because it made me think I can't fully trust him with anything on the big
exactly,
things because he can lie to us, convince us about things that aren't true on the small things.
exactly, exactly. And I was like, oh my God, I'm here until I finish my treatment. I'm here till I finish my treatment. Please help me, please help me. So me and Niels, we were constantly walking on eggshells just to keep him pleased.
Yep.
He would say something and we say, yes, yeah, yeah. He would start whining about someone he just had been on chatting with. Oh, he's so low vibe and so unconscious.
Yeah.
Ah, and we were like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just oh, look. Sometimes it would backfire at us.
Mhm.
If he noticed that we were just saying yes just because, you know, just to appease things,
Mhm.
he would go on and on and on. And I would look to Niels. Niels would look at me, and we were like, oh, fuck. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. This, another, another, another experience. It makes me tremble, you know,
Yeah.
the emotional blackmail. This situation in particular, it's a clear example of emotional blackmail. So I just one day, this was early on, you know, within those 2-3 weeks that I figure out, okay, I made a mistake. I was too, you know, too hasty.
Mhm.
Because at that time he would already introduce me to Monica. I would eventually bump into you, and you guys, you would help me detoxing, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, to be
going
fair,
through
Lee
the
Alkalalise
detox process.
opened you up to Facebook and all of us,
Exactly.
actually. Yeah.
Introduce me into that community, you know,
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but you know, I was mesmerized by all that knowledge because to me it was the very first time I was experiencing to
Yeah.
be with someone, you know, that knowledgeable in alternative ways.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm a radiographer. I I've been indoctrinated to 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 think that A plus B equals C, cause effect. That's not how things work.
Yeah.
It's completely false, lies. But anyway, that's another subject. So I was telling him, he was first thing in the morning. I had gone to drink my pee, wash my face with pee, snorting and stuff. And then I came out and I said, Lee, do you know what I've tried? And he said, what did you try? And I said, I experimented with my plants. His eyes were like wide open. You did what? What did you do? What did you do? I said, I diluted some of my pee and I put it in the plants. And he looked at me. Oh my God. He said, you did what? So you just had the jab. You just had the jab. Oh my God, I'm not saying the word properly. You just had been vaccinated. So your DNA has been altered and you are contaminating your plants. They're gonna die. They're gonna blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Hell was on the loose.
All right, so he really attacked you for that. It wasn't a nice. It was a more.
My God.
It's very extreme.
Yeah, he said you had no right doing this to the plants. Blah blah blah. And guess what?
What?
2 years later, my plants are alive, thriving. They grew. Now it's my mother who had already 3 jabs.
Right.
Now it's my mom.
Right.
My mom.
Right.
Who put her pee in the plant because she says, "Oh, Ivete, that worked."
Right. Stop. Pause. Lee Alkalalise, if you're watching this, this is just one massive evidence that you're wrong. You've been wrong in so many things. Can you wake up, please, brother? We care about you. Right.
And I was so, that situation, I felt so belittled, so attacked, because when you
also,
when
Ivete,
you say,
not to interrupt you, but I know how you feel because it ties back to how I felt before, and I can analyze what's going on when everyone visits Lee. What he does is, because he knows so much more than us, and in a way he does, but he also actually doesn't support and take joy out of our journeys of what we learn and what we do and what we want to share to him as a cool dude. So as a cool dude that you want to share these things, you're around him 24/7. But in that example, you're just sharing your joy at something that you've done that's actually good and it is good for them and you just want to share. And what does he do? He shuts you down. And that happens over time, what happened to Niels is you can no longer feel safe. You no longer feel you can be yourself.
Exactly.
Your own personality. It has to change to suit him. Like know.
Exactly.
And then it becomes torture and then you want to run away. If you're human. Unless you're Niels and then you don't for a while. But yeah.
I felt, again, on the thread, I felt, that I was being thrown back to my childhood. Sorry, someone is calling me. Let's explain that. I was raised by old people, and old people, they don't have patience. My grandparents, they did a great job, the best they could. But if I didn't behave the way they wanted, they would lash out on me, And that's exactly what it did. So I was like, oh my God, this again. If I was on his way, I would dodge. He would come to this and I dodge. And he said to me one day, "You're like one of my ex-girlfriends. She had the same issue you have." And I said, yes, because I'm in your way. And he said, that's a trauma. And I said, yes, because I had been working on it. So I felt so unsafe that I didn't want to, trigger conflict.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just to make clear, the plants are thriving. They are beautiful.
Yep.
The jab did not alter those plants. Those plants are not aliens now.
No, exactly. And what I've noticed,
they are beautiful, and I have to repot them.
Yeah. So
that brings me so much joy.
It's
so
literally
much joy.
Yeah, it's literally a case with Lee that
I'm not listening to you properly. What happened?
Yeah, also I can't hear you as well. It's still recording though.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I hope this is okay.
Can you hear me?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, just to recap, that's exactly what I felt with Lee. Overwhelm of knowledge, and once he goes on, we say wordsmith, but what it really is manipulation, and he's socialized way more than me and you, and done more work on healing his trauma.
Oh yeah, he talked about all his life. He has lots of experience,
it's a combination of
socializing.
loads more. And that's the thing. When you have experience socializing, you can manipulate people. You learn how to say things. And when he argues with us, it makes you feel shit. He takes you on a journey, and you feel like this energy of
couldn't.
Yeah, it's very draining.
I couldn't rival with him. I couldn't express myself because I was completely
shuts you down. Yeah. Or makes you freeze. You freeze.
I could feel his energy and I was like, ugh! And the frustration. I just knew I had to leave. And then day after day, listening all that conflict between him and Niels. You made a mistake.
Yeah. Can we
that was horrible.
Can we talk about the one of the worst experiences you've had with it? I mean, the whole thing was torture. But I mean,
after this, I have 2 more experiences that they're going to be here forever.
If you don't mind sharing them with us, I think the audience would be great.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So when I arrived, to start my treatment, Lee was very, very, very low on money. And when he saw that I had my own car, he was so happy.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
That was my my contribution for the project. Again, the project it's based on really good intentions, and it's a really good project, but it needs another leader, or Lee needs to, it's his business, it's his karma. But if he takes the moment to, reevaluate his actions, he's gonna be a better person. He's gonna be a better leader, because his leadership it's like a dictatorship. No input of ours were taken into consideration because we were beneath him.
That's because he truthfully can't. He says to me many times, he's probably told you, that he learns from everybody, but it's a lie. He's telling another lie, because he doesn't. And by the way, he doesn't learn from us unconsciously. Me and you can pick up on it when we spend time around him. It's an unconscious thing. You feel that everything you say, he doesn't value. Unless it's about him.
Exactly.
Unless it's about his stuff.
I felt that so many times.
Unless you support his stuff and what he's doing, his ego, then he won't listen to you, and it takes away, and it's hurtful, actually. It's hurtful.
Yeah, especially in my case. Because I was a healthcare professional. I was a meat eater. until a few months before. I had the jab, so I was like, you're still alive because you're here with me, basically. It was that kind of feeling that he would instill on me. So there was two more like really negative experiences. So the gaslighting, going. Again, one day I was driving him around. Oh, I need to talk about this. So because I had the car, he was happy. He could go gallivanting to the big cities, to the restaurants, and guess what? I would be the one who paid for sometimes the meals as well.
Yeah.
Fuel.
Yeah.
Tools, because in Portugal, to get in some roads, you pay.
Right. Yeah.
So I would pay for everything.
Yeah.
The car was, of course, mine. So it was my responsibility. But if he wanted to go shopping, there you go. I would be the driver,
too.
the taxi.
Yeah.
You know, taxi driver.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to go to Viseu and gallivanting to Prema, there we go. Or get weed. Here we go.
Get weed, yeah.
And
this was on top of the fees
sometimes
that you
I think, what
was,
was I thinking?
Yeah, it was on top of the, sorry, the money you paid for all this was on top of the pre-arranged agreed amount
yeah,
you paid him. This was on top of it. That was already a
sometimes
deal
we
you
would
struck.
go to
Yeah.
Sometimes we would go to the garden center and he would tap his card. Oh, no money, or it for some reason
Yep.
it wouldn't go through. So
there's so many times with him.
who ended up paying? Me. And
me too.
People want proof. Yeah, the
Same.
bank statement. Bang.
I can't.
It's there.
I've lost count of the amount of times we'd go out shopping too, and he'd have no money in the card. He would say try, the money wouldn't work, and I would pay. That happened so many times.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, because of that, do you know the organic shop that they used to go?
That you worked in, yeah?
Yeah. We need to talk about that too. So three more experiences that I need to talk.
It's loads.
So when he and Niels, after I long left, I don't think you were there yet, but he would go to shop. He would go shopping, him and Niels, and who would pay? Niels. And one day, I went to visit the owner, and she said, "You know what? You know what I think really, really weird?" I said, "What?" It's about Lee. I never said a bad word about. I never said a bad word about Lee to her because, you know me, it's not my business. What happened between us, it's because there's no need to what's the word, to the project. I don't want to harm the project. How do you say, what's the word?
Hurt the project, harm the project, destroy the project. No.
But bad mouthing. Yeah,
you didn't want to stir the pot, bad mouth, and ruin,
exactly.
affect people.
No need.
How people see Lee.
Need.
Yeah, there's no
exactly.
need.
One thing is Lee, one thing is the project. Done. And I said, so what's weird? And she said, you know what? When they come to shopping, it's always Niels who pays, and Lee tells in front of me, oh, when we get home I pay you.
He never does.
I don't know.
Well, I do, because I've heard many times.
There, he didn't.
He didn't with me either. I've heard that many times. For my story, I've heard that he used to say to me, look, we'll buy this PlayStation 3, Harry, and I'll go half on you on the games. And I'd never get the money back. It was always I'd go half, I'd pay you back, and I'd pay you for the Costa Rica flights and my Rife, the Rife that I paid for him. When it came to money,
Yes.
I learned
Yeah.
I learned with Lee Alkalalise, you can't be trusted with his
And
word.
I tried to save your honor, Harry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the day, that was the conversation that led to, you know, the definite breakout that
Yeah, you and him. Yeah.
it was over. I was finally free from him
Yeah. Thanks
by
to
his
me.
own initiative.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, so let's talk about the experiences. So oh, let's talk about the brainwashing.
Sure. Yes, that's huge. This is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by that time, my mind was already, you know, getting clear, and I was starting to see things differently. Um, one day, you know, I was having a little bit, and
Which he
yeah,
gave you. He gave you.
I
Yeah.
felt my, you know, my energy field like a donut, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm feeling it. So, you know, changes were happening. And that's it. I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
But, and I started to got brave and brave.
Hmm.
So one day we, uh, another story, you know, um, Lee wanted that iron cast big ovens where you can cook, you can roast, you can
Uh-huh.
do many things.
Yeah.
So we found a guy who was selling one.
Mhm.
He had how do you say, refurbished?
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Repair it.
Mhm.
That's the word. Um, and we went back and forth to, you know, there was something about the oven that I mentioned something. And one of these one of those days we went there, and I'm prone to I'm prone to, you know, I'm prone to accidents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did something with the car, and there you go. He was on a roll. Blah, 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 blah. On our way home, he was blah, 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 blah. And
Mhm.
I was sick and tired of listening to him. I
Yeah.
stopped the car and I said, I don't feel very well. I feel like I'm being brainwashed.
Yeah.
Boof. Niels was at the back. Niels, I could see by the retro mirror. Niels was, she did not say that. Oh shit. Lee was, oh my God, he
Wow.
was kicking off.
Yeah.
I He was, how dare you saying that to me,
Yeah.
that I'm helping you. No one would help you. One. And I was like,
You was like
that thing.
unconsciously, you was like, oh, that's the truth. Because what it was you're experiencing is called being triggered. He was hearing a truth about himself that and rationalizing, but he was hearing a truth that I
Yeah.
mean,
And
that's
I
not
was
yeah.
like, you are overreacting. I feel that I'm being brainwashed.
Yeah.
He was, oh my God, he was shocked.
Yeah.
So he kind of changed
Change strategy. Yeah.
The strategy.
Seen that before. Yeah.
Then he started. Then he started to taking it personally. You know.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
this for you. I all my life I've been doing this. Like now playing the victim just
Yep.
to get my sympathy.
Yeah. You felt he was being manipulative, being manipulative, just changing the strategy. I felt like this many times with him.
And I felt so powerful, not powerful, but empowered, because I was reading through him as well.
Yeah.
And I said, I am willing to leave. That was my first attempt. I'm willing to leave. And he was banging with his hand on the dashboard. How dare you leave us? We have so many plans. We need your car.
That sounds actually quite aggressive.
Because back then there was the dry fruit business.
Yep.
So they needed my car to get the fruit. We would go foraging and we would go to other places where the fruit was not organic. But we would go to other places where they sell, you name it, apples or grapes. My gosh, my car would get like loaded with boxes of fruit. Yeah. We have these plans for the project and you're not helping. And if you leave now, you're going to leave us in a bad place. And I'm like...
But sorry, that sounds quite aggressive.
And what you're going to do? Do you think
aggressive.
other people...
You know, it's quite aggressive, the actions of banging.
Oh my God, yes. Scary. I was like, oh my God.
Like,
he's gonna start... I was like holding the steering wheel, like clinching, like I was...
Because it's things like that that make you think that made you felt like he could be violent with Niels and you, and in the end,
my God,
after you left, he did start becoming violent. All the things you saw was pre-violence that you were feeling he could do, but he did do eventually, because he was no one stopped him, no one called him out early enough and left him for his behaviors of threatening violence like he was doing with you, because that sounds very threatening. What the actions of slamming your hand was. I know he's like, you see, he can be very scary. Being around him was scary. I remember, like.
And all that physical, gestures and stuff. And he would continuously saying, no one will want to help you. You haven't finished your treatment. You haven't finished your treatment. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to finish my treatment. So I said, okay, all right, okay. And again, we went home. My second attempt. My second attempt was, so the money that I already had paid him in just one go, in just one sum, 3,000 euros. He used to buy things to the project. I think 2 more greenhouses, and maintenance expenses, because and to pay rent and gallivanting, restaurants, anyway. Another story. So we were in Porto in one vegan restaurant, the burgers one.
Oh, the burgers one. Yeah, I've been there with you.
Yes.
You said you've been there with you. Yeah.
He said, and I was like, again, I was that was my second attempt. And I was like, should I tell him? How can I tell him that I don't feel comfortable? I want to leave the project. when I finished my treatment, my detox program, then I started, because he was the one, because I was acting the way I was acting nervous, anxious, and I wanted to, talk, but then I didn't feel brave enough. He asked me, what's going on? You're acting weird. Is everything okay with you? And then I slowly started to talk, and he was infuriating again, slamming the table, and other people looking at us.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was so dumb at that time, because at that time it would be a perfect time just to get rid of him. Because as you know, after Brexit, people who stay after 3 months and have business in Portugal, they need to be, how do you say, legal?
Yeah. Yeah.
So his situation for 2 years in Portugal was illegal.
Right. Yeah.
And guess what? If I was a nasty person, if I didn't care anything about the project, I could have just stand up talking in Portuguese, and everyone would back me up.
Oh, about him being
We would
illegal.
call the police, and he would go to jail.
Yeah.
And being
Sorry, just on
the flight.
I didn't know this. Just to understand, did you have those thoughts? You just didn't do it. You had those thoughts. I could do it at the time.
I could do it at the time.
Yeah,
because
but
I already knew.
Oh yeah, so at the time this was going on with Lee, you could have you had the
Yes.
thought, I could, but I won't.
I could have.
Yeah.
I could have. So again, I said, no, I won't leave. Okay. And that was it. Then the money, obviously, 0. I still had some, but the account that I was using, I had 2 accounts, but I only talk about one account.
You never talked to me
that
about
one
another
account, that one account, thank God I listened to my intuition.
Yeah.
Thank God. That account that I took the money to make all the payments was the one that I share with my dad.
Right.
And my dad used to call me, hey, is everything okay? You're taking a lot of money. Like I said, and again, I could have said, no, Dad, things are not okay. And he would instantly, going there, and that was it. Bye-bye project. I didn't do that. I said, no, Dad, this is for a few expenses that I need, a few products that I need to buy. So it helps me with my detox.
Yeah.
So that account dropped considerably, between 9,000 to 8,000 euros.
Whoa.
God.
Whoa.
So then Lee said, oh, I've got the solution.
Yeah, good
for that.
Yeah.
You're gonna work on the organic shop. And I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy because I would get away from them too.
Yeah. Mainly, it wasn't even, I mean, the money, but it was to get away from Lee, wasn't it? And the toxic things you were seeing with what he was treating you.
I would work, exactly. I would work 4 hours. And those 4 hours, I was always looking forward
Yeah.
to go to work.
It's
4
references of how
hours.
other people
So
see you, other people like friends, and just doing the same thing, as opposed to reflection of having to see Lee all the time and how he sees you made you feel like shit. Like,
oh my God.
yeah.
So that was, you know, my happy time. My happy time. And it was indeed, because working with that people, it was cool. And I met
your partner there.
my partner. And it was so cool. So end of month, so I did a month.
Mhm.
And he said, well, now it wasn't just in the end.
Can I
It
pause
was
you?
right in the beginning.
Can I
Yeah.
pause you? It's going to run out. It's going to run out. Can I stop the reminder?
Again,
I'll remind us.
I'm talking too much.
No, it's really good. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, see you in a bit.